And that, right there, is Champions Cup knockout rugby. That is what these 2 weekends, round of 16, quarterfinals, and the semi and final beyond, that is what it is all about. Absolute epic. That's just literally this second finished at the Stade Marcel de Flandre. And my full-time whistle thoughts: Stade Rochelle against Munster, 2 former winners of this competition. Ronan O'Gara, a man who won it as a player with Munster, as a coach with La Rochelle. And yeah, spoiler alert coming. It's Roger's old side, not his current team, that are going to be advancing into the quarterfinals. Absolutely amazing match. It's going to be hard to top that this weekend. La Rochelle 24, Munster 25. And we have an away win in the round of 16. I predicted 8 home wins. But I said that the 2 games that were knife-edged calls were first and foremost this one. I think my prediction was La Rochelle by 2. It was Munster by 1. It went right down to the wire. And the other one, an incredible game that we saw, Castres by 2, and I predicted I predicted Castres by 4, but thought that one could have been the away win. But there you go. We do have an upset of sorts. It was 2 really, really well-matched teams. Let me just deal with La Rochelle for a second, because they are 10th in the top 14. Their last win in any competition was on the 4th of January against a much-changed Toulouse team. The 4th of January, the last time they won a match. Ronan O'Gara, he's won this competition twice. He's got nothing to prove. He's a legend in the history of La Rochelle. He's delivered them the titles that they've been working towards for so long and craved. But is he starting to come under pressure? He's been very vocal about wanting an international job. And yeah, he's now under massive pressure. You can see watching that game why La Rochelle have signed Nolan Le Garrec and David Niniashvili for next season, because they need to be more potent in attack. Anyway, I'll come on to them in a minute. Munster, fair play. I mean, Simon Zebo's laughter in the commentary box probably said it all. Although for part of the game you could barely hear him because the sound was an absolute abomination. But I didn't care. All I wanted to hear was the sound from the stand. And I wonder how Ronan O'Gara felt. What was their mixed emotions hearing the fields of Athenry belting out across the La Rochelle Stadium? Absolutely amazing. That is the type of game you think about when you think of knockout rugby. Tight, tense, brutal physicality, tiny moments feeling like massive moments. That's the biggest thing about that game. There were little moments that felt huge and that felt like they had so much riding on them. The crowd were awesome. It was well-matched teams. It helps when the referee is a little bit loose as well. I mean that in a good way. That's not a criticism. I thought Andrea Piardi was very good. I thought he got the last decision at the death when he must have been under so much pressure. I thought he got that absolutely spot on as well. So fair play. So much I'd rattle through when I'm thinking about this. As I say, these are just my thoughts immediately following the match. Leave me yours in the comments down below. I'd love it if you would give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'm about to go in just a minute. I'm in California at the minute, and it's still, I know it's not even midday here. I've been watching rugby since 4:30 a.m. I'm heading off to the ice hockey in a minute, so I've got to make this relatively brief. Jack Knoll, is he sponsored by Red Bull? He's had that Red Bull headguard for years. Adidas make really good kits. I really like Munster and La Rochelle's kits. La Rochelle in the first 15 minutes, I was talking about their attack needs some development. You wouldn't have known it from the opening quarter of an hour because they were actually really fluent. Teddy Thomas in an unusual position. We're not used to seeing him at 13, but he looked really, really dangerous. And they were fluent. They were attacking. They were eating up the yards. Antonio and Skelton, wave of attack with giant 150-kilo men. It was working. Aldrit and Jegu in the back row looked really good. They were 7-0 up. But one of the biggest features of this match, which we saw in that when Munster managed to settle, the scramble defence from Munster was absolutely immense. I mean, there was one moment in the second half where Craig Casey managed to rip the ball out of the hooker's hands in a maul, which kind of summed it up. By the way, how good to have Craig Casey back. Because he missed the whole Six Nations, he hasn't really been mentioned in relation to British and Irish Lions, but he deserves to be in the conversation for sure because he was absolutely brilliant. Sharp, aware, great kicking. Jack Crowley, I thought, was superb as well. And do you know what the biggest feature of Jack Crowley, and think about how his last couple of months have been. This is probably the biggest shot window he's had outside of 20 minutes here or there for Ireland in the biggest games. He bossed it, And the biggest thing that you got from Jack Crowley in this game is what Johnny Sexton would always do for Leinster and Ireland, taking the ball flat to the line, right to the line. And Jack Crowley, the number of times he got smashed, but opened up a space for someone else, and there were loads of line breaks for Munster as a result. And they got back to 7-all, 10-7 at half-time, and maybe that was one of those small moment, big moment things, because Munster Munster would have been very happy only coughing up 3 points at the end of the first half, rather than La Rochelle getting any more. And then, as we know how the second half went, Munster getting out to a 22-10 lead, and you thought it's over. There was that penalty for Crowley to start with. There was Gavin Coombs charge down and try. There was that deliberate knock-on from Dylan Lades, acted like his hand had been scalded when he hit the ball. It was quite funny. So he got the yellow card, and you thought, oh my goodness, it's going to happen. La Rochelle are done, but you should have known better, because they were always going to bounce back. Penalty try, 17-22. Kendellen, yellow card. That was the right call as well, for me, at least. And then Kerr Barlow with a knock-on, another small moment that felt like a big moment. And from that possession that Munster got, Jack Crowley with a ice-cold drop goal, more Simon Zebo laughing in the commentary box, an 8-point lead. But then Josh Wycherley with the knock-on, another small moment that felt like a big moment. The ebb and the flow of this match. Tyburn getting a turnover, but then La Rochelle getting the ball back and getting a score. Bosmaran after the crossfield kick with the try. Conversion from the touchline to bring it within a point. And then they go back. The TMO wants to check the grounding. You think, what's happened here? But the grounding's fine. Just adds a bit more drama. The game must have gone on for over 2 hours. I am running late as a result of watching this game. But it was so good. I thought for Munster, I've already mentioned Craig Casey and Jack Crowley. They were outstanding. Tyburn, so clever. I mean, he comes up with big plays when it really, really is needed. He also, and I mean this as a positive and it's going to sound like a criticism. It's not. He knows how and when to push the line, let's say, with the laws, and he is amazing at it, and it's because he's got such a good rugby brain. There was a few times he was illegal in mauls for me, but the ref didn't spot it, so he was legal. And I mean, yeah, I just think he's an incredible rugby player. Takir Abrahams, give him whatever he wants money-wise. Munster, keep that guy. And I said before the game, I thought Munster's backline was better than La Rochelle's. And I think that's how it proved. Smith and Nash, defensively, their scramble D was amazing. And then when they had the opportunities, they took them. Absolutely love that game. I mean, I don't know what it must have been like being a Munster or La Rochelle fan, because my nerves are absolutely shot to bits watching it. But yeah, back to the original point. That, to me, is what Champions Cup knockout rugby should look like. Not some of the one-sided blowouts that we've had. The game in Castres and the game in La Rochelle, absolutely awesome. Loved it. Thank you very much for watching. And as I say, give me your thoughts in the comments down below. I'll see you on the next one.